Good morning, good morning. How you guys doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. It is the November 6th on a Thursday. And today I just want to look at the overall markets. I have my Yahoo Finance home screen up. I like Yahoo Finance. I think it's come a long way over the years. It's always been a standard in the industry, but I think over the years it's really refined themselves, and so I enjoy it very much. So we're going to take a look here. Here's the home screen, some headlines for us to take a look at, some markets indexes that I want to take a look at, some trending stock tickers that I think will be of interest to look at. See if there's any institutional buying taking place here that we could jump on the bandwagon. So first things first, I see that Tesla's making some headlines. I was looking at Tesla this morning, and I am very much interested in getting into this one. We had a couple signals down here. If you were following us on Telegram, you know that we had a couple signals down here at this monthly demand zone. We located this area as an area where institutions were buying, and this was before price dropped. I think price was up here, and we located this as institutional buying. I said this would be a great spot to buy. This is where the banks were buying, so we want to buy where the banks are buying. So that was the $250 area. And as you can see, it's been nothing but upside ever since. So we are watching for them to continue buying, and they have done so. And latest significant area of buying is right here. Okay. So I don't want to be a buyer of this stock up here. I want to buy it when it drops. Okay, when it drops to institutional demand, this is where I'm going to be buying. Up here is too high. All right. So I'm looking at the headlines, and I'm wondering if they're going to uh, try to trigger some kind of an emotional response to get price to drop. It may not. I'm not sure, but I'm going to be keeping my eye on that. So, as far as Tesla goes, reading the headlines, but I'm just staying cautious of what they've got going on because at the highs, like I said, it's too expensive. Penn Entertainment rises after Disney and ESPN bet venture. So let's take a look at Disney. Disney was one that I was interested in, but it's been doing a bunch of nothing for quite some time. As you can see on the monthly time frame, we got a lot of ranging in this area. And if we look at the higher time frames, we don't even have price reacting to institutional demand. Okay, so long-term demand not being contacted right now. So I don't like this. Okay, we did have an institutional demand zone here, but as you can see, that's been taken out because of the institutional selling happening up here. So in the 175s, we have major supply here, and right now we're not reacting to any type of demand. So I'm not interested in going long this one at this time. It would either have to drop further or break out of this range and provide me with some big buying levels, and then I'll be interested. Okay. Moderna gains on sharp cost cuts as COVID vaccine declines. So mRNA. Not looking too good for Moderna, and it looks like we're just about to come into a big institutional level. Okay, so Moderna was one of those stocks that came out right before COVID, and we saw some big buying in this stock. Very, very interesting when this started to rally because if you look at 2000 February 2020, right here, we had major interest. March, I think this was when they announced that they were going to use Moderna and their vaccine, and big spike up from $26 to a crazy almost $500. And you take a look at the insider positioning at that time. There was major insider selling here, major at the highs. They pumped price up from those lows, and they had major selling at those highs. So on the monthly time frame, we can see that price is currently inside institutional buying, but it's failed to really produce any type of momentum. On the 6 month time frame, we're sitting inside some demand, but this is not a stock that I'd want to touch. Okay, um, lots of stuff happened with this Moderna shot. A lot of side effects. A lot of people got hurt. A lot of negative news for this company, so it's not something that I'd want to touch. Even if there was good, positive headlines for the company, it's not something I'd want to touch. Nvidia-backed startup strikes $1.17 billion AI deal with CoreWeave. So let's take a look at Nvidia. I've been also watching this one pretty closely, and if you've been following us, you know that we had this as our institutional buying zone. Okay. I said this would be a great spot to get into a long position. Some of you followed that, um, and took your own trades, risking, doing what you do. And some of my students, they took trades there, $90. Not too bad when price gets to over $200. Double your money in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Not too bad. So we know big buying was taking place down here. Now what? So we're looking for another entry signal on this one. And if I take a look at the weekly time frame, okay, this is we had a couple areas here on the way up that were good for buying. So we had institutional buying here and here and here. These are all big levels, okay? All big buying levels. Now, this one, I was waiting for price to come down to this area because I wanted to add to my position here, but we never got price to come into this demand area, which was unfortunate. But we do have this new area here, okay? So I've got orders in the market already waiting to trigger when price gets down to this area. I got targets at 252. This target is being located using concepts and principles that we teach at the school. We're looking at structure, structure that is being created by institutions, not just random structure. We're looking at areas where the big institutions came in to buy, and we're looking at how high they took price, and we're taking that and looking at the latest institutional buy zone and projecting forward that if they were to buy in the same quantity as they did in the past, it should take price up to this area up here. Okay, it's been extremely accurate. Our target locating system, it's been incredibly accurate. So that's what I'm targeting for on Nvidia. So I'm seeing more upside coming soon. Okay. Let's see. Modest jobs growth cast doubt on story of the economy, ADP. I actually have a position on this one already. I am long ADP, automatic data processing, and I am going to be holding this for a long period of time. On the monthly time frame, as you can see, we have this big institutional supply level here. All right. And so what that means is when we get the price contacting this area, we're going to need this area to be removed for there to be um, a significant move forward to the upside. So it's going to be a big roadblock, and that's fine because I do suspect that over time this area will be taken out. And when it gets taken out, they're going to be producing another signal for us. All right. When this big institutional demand or supply gets taken out, they'll be coming in with demand. We'll locate the demand, and then we'll be entering into a secondary position on this one. I do have targets much higher up. Okay. So I'm expecting this one to go even higher over time. Let's see what we got. China sells $4 billion of dollar bonds as U.S. tensions ease. Okay, so bonds are not going in my direction lately. They were, but lately they aren't. Okay, we see a drop. And so we have a big institutional demand area down here on the monthly time frame. I am long bonds, been long for a long time, been collecting dividends on this for some time now, and that's been great. But I'm looking to exit my position. Just need price to go a little bit higher, and then I'm going to be exiting my position. Uh, we're just not getting the strength that I would expect and or that I was expecting. And we have major institutional selling happening here. So any type of rally into this area, we're gonna see a major sell-off. At least that's what the institutional supply and demand is dictating. So any major spike up past this previous high here on the weekly time frame, and I'm going to be exiting my position. Um, all right, what else do we have here? Stock indexes. So I was mentioning to you guys yesterday that well, actually, yesterday was Wednesday, it was Tuesday evening. I was mentioning to you guys that price was coming down into a buying zone. And I made a post about how we should expect bullish momentum to kick in tomorrow, which was yesterday. And this is exactly what took place here, okay? So we watched as price entered into this buying zone on the daily time frame, and then we just watched the RSI signal. Okay, RSI was very weak when price dipped in here, but on the second dip, RSI was 40. That's the long signal. Okay, we didn't get the exact candle formation that I was looking for here, which was unfortunate because I would have taken a long trade based off of that. But I still, I knew that with a high degree of certainty, we were going to get a move to the upside. So we got the move to the upside, short-term drop because we had institutional supply being contacted here, and now we're gaining momentum again. And I suspect, throughout the day today, we'll be getting a continued push to the upside here. So very powerful knowing these institutional zones if you do want to enter into short-term trades. Like I was suggesting to a gentleman yesterday, one of our students, we were having a private one-on-one coaching session, and I was telling him he wants to day trade. And I said, listen, it's all fine and dandy to day trade or to take trades on a lower time frame, but master the swing trading first, master the levels, understand context, because when you know that price is very likely going to react from a daily demand zone, for instance, then you can go down to the lower time frames and you know exactly what to watch for that signal. I wouldn't just try to day trade the markets every single day. That's super, super advanced stuff, and it's very, very difficult to do consistently. All right. So I wouldn't be focusing on stuff like that. All right. So let's see what we have here. Yeah, so that's the S&P. So continued move to the upside is what I suspect. On the Nasdaq, as you can see, it pretty much contacted this area of daily demand as well. So we're getting a lot of buying here. Okay, any type of talk out there in social media about the markets dropping. I hear this all the time. I scan through social media and I hear people predicting 10% drops and so forth. Listen, as long as institutional buying zones are holding, this talk is nonsense. Okay? And if people really understood what was happening in the markets and where the institutional buying was coming in from, they would hear this and they would just laugh because, you know, we can look at the charts and we can see big institutional buying coming in. We know exactly where those levels are. And every time price starts to drop towards those levels so the banks can come in and buy some more, there's always chatter on the internet about how um, uh, there's a big drop in the market and we could potentially see 5% retracement, 10%. There's always these numbers. It's always just so funny because it happens all the time. But there's no chance of that, okay? Not until institutional buying is removed. And take a look on the Dow. Same thing. Big institutional demand area here, okay? This is buying. This is big institutional buying here, okay? And price comes down to it, holding, and, so we expect price to continue to the upside. All right. This is what happens when institutional buying comes into play. We don't expect anything else. Okay. Trending tickers, Marvell, MRVL. Let's take a look at that. See what the banks are doing with this one. All right, so would I be a buyer here? I don't see any big levels coming into play. I do see major selling up here at the highs. So any type of strong rally to the 110s will likely see a major sell-off. Um, I don't like this stock the way that it looks for a trade. Yeah, it's up in pre-market, so what? Like I said, at $110, that's major selling happening, okay? So I'd expect if price gets up to this area, 110, there's going to be a major sell-off again, all right? So I wouldn't be a holder of that stock. Duolingo. Let's see this one. What's going on here? Okay, this one's interesting. I like this one. Not too bad. So first thing I'll point you to is when we look at this monthly time frame, what do we see? Okay, we see there was this big imbalance in price here, shot price up, but as you can see, it's slowly melting away right now. Okay, which means this buying area that was taking place over the span of a month is not holding price any longer. Okay. So that means buying that took place over a month is not enough to hold price at this time. So if it's not strong enough to hold price up, then likely price is going to drop. Now, if I open up this chart here, there we go. If I take a look at the 6-month time frame, and you might be thinking 6 months, are we really going to go to 6 months? Yeah, you are going to. Okay, if you want to get into a stock when massive institutional buying is taking place, you want to look at 6-month charts. And so I can tell you right now that we have a level right here of significant interest. Okay, this here was big institutional buying. Now, I'll show you a little trick that I do. So this area, big institutional buying here, okay? This is between 171 and 226. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to go to, where is it? HedgeFollow, and what's the ticker? Duolingo, D-U-O-L. Okay, watch this. D-U-O-L, Duolingo. And I like to come here and see what the biggest institutions are doing, okay? What the big hedge funds are doing. So I like to press on value owned so I can get a list of the big banking institutions, big hedge funds, find out where they're situated with this stock, and take a look at the numbers here, okay? So one of the ways that I get a good feel for where all the big hedge funds are at, including State Street, BlackRock, I like to take a screenshot, and I like to DUOL. And then I'll go over to ChatGPT. I find this to be a great tool. All right, you add it in, and then I just ask ChatGPT, give me the average buy price of all these that are listed, starting from $184.33. I hit enter and watch how fast. It's pretty crazy. It's really good. Um, I'm still thinking. Usually it's a little bit quicker than this. Maybe it's because of the live stream, or maybe not. Okay, here we go. Here comes the numbers. And average buy price 241.18. Okay. Average buy price is 241.18. So I like to come onto my chart and get the horizontal line here and plot that as average hedge fund price. And I'd like to put the, so what was it, 241.18, okay? And I like to put the date here so that I know when I added this in. November 6th, 25. Okay, there you go. So look, you look at what the average hedge fund price is, 241.18. If I buy here at this demand area, okay, then I am getting a lower price than the average price of all the hedge funds, okay, that are in this stock, which is great. And so if I was to do a forecast of where I think price is going to go, I'm going to look at the beginning of the buying from down here, and I'm going to forecast that based on the next buying area that I believe is going to come into play. And then I'm going to locate that as my target. And I'm going to put the date here, November 6th, 25. And this is based on the 6-month chart. And now I have myself a target. Okay. All right. So what I'll do is I will set up a trade with the stop loss below the zone and target up here. Okay, so that'll be a position that I'll hold for a long period of time. It could take a year, 2 years, who knows? But this is just one of the seeds that I'm planting. Okay, constantly planting seeds so that you're constantly having harvest in the future. Okay, and there's going to be additional signals. It's not just one signal. Okay, this can go up here, produce a secondary signal, another one on the way up. So I just build my core position. As my equity increases, it gives me more leverage to increase my positions. And by the time final target is reached, huge profit. All right, huge profit. And so this is one of the ways that I'm trading stocks. So this is looking really good. Add this one to my special watch list. There you go. And then I'll work out the details of the orders and all that stuff a little bit later on. Okay, and very important to do the analysis on the lower time frames as well, because we want to keep track of where the selling is taking place. Okay, because if we can keep track of where the banks are selling this on the way down, then we know where their selling orders are. Okay, and so when price comes down, when it starts to show buying, we're going to watch those selling orders that they had previous, and we're going to watch them remove those areas, come in with strong buying, and then we're going to add to our position on those strong buying areas and continue doing so as price rallies. Okay, so if I look at the weekly time frame, I can see a very, very clear selling area that the banks were using right here. Okay, right there. And so this was the buying area right here. And we just clean up the chart like this. And so this is what we're looking at here. Okay, so the expected move is down here, build momentum, pull back, buy here again, add. When this gets taken out, again, the same thing, buy the pullback and continue adding. Okay. All right, so Duolingo looks good. We got a really nice, yeah, big gap down. Look at that. That's really nice. 194. That's going to take us right inside this buying zone. Okay, right inside the buying zone. All right, so let's take a look at the news here. Let's take a look. Click on Duolingo. What's causing this move to the downside? Duolingo's Q3 2025 gross profit reached, okay, with a gross margin of 72, down from 72.9 last year due to increased generative AI and hosting costs. Okay, all right. So they have some earnings. When it come out Wednesday, that was yesterday evening. All right, so we're gapping down massively from that news. Okay, so let's watch because we're going to be opening up inside this institutional buying zone. Look at that, right deep inside. This is wonderful. When the markets open, we'll see what the situation is on the RSI on the monthly time frame. It looks like we're going to be very weak on the weekly, so might be looking for a reversal signal on the weekly time frame. Whatever RSI is under 40, that's the chart that you watch for. Okay, the highest time frame chart that has RSI under 40, that's the chart you're going to want to watch for. That shift in buying power. Okay, because the buying is going to be shown there through the RSI. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. Snap, yeah, I've been listening to news about Snap all morning. Big rally up in Snap. I don't like it. I don't see it as being a good chart to trade, so I'm not going to trade this one. CELH, I like this chart. It's on my watch list. I've got orders to buy, just waiting for a drop, and we're getting that this morning, and this is beautiful. Okay, every time I see a drop, I love it. I don't care if it's bad earnings; it makes no difference to me, because when you start paying attention to institutional buying and selling, what you'll notice is that if the banks are coming in and buying a stock heavily, and then price drops because of bad earnings right into their buying zone, doesn't matter if it's bad earnings, price is going to go up, okay? Unless the company is a complete disaster, bad earnings are okay, all right? Because they're more likely than not going to be used to get retail traders to offload their shares to the banks that come in and purchase them. So this one's looking pretty good. I've got orders to trigger when price gets into my buying area here on the monthly time frame with targets at $88. So that's a good one. I believe I already have this one on my special watch list. Yeah, I do. Okay, so let's go to Oscar, OSCR. Been watching this one too. And it just does not want to surpass this area of selling that we have. Okay, we located this selling zone here on the monthly time frame. And take a look. Every time price contacts, it's been dropping. So I wouldn't be interested in going long this one unless one of two things happened. Price got in here and I saw momentum shift to the upside, or price breaks through this area and I see a significant buying zone coming into play, and then I'd be interested in buying when price drops into that buying zone, just like that. All right, those are the two circumstances that I would be watching for. Okay, my friends, if you like this little wrap up of what's going on, not a wrap up, but really just an overview of what's trending in the markets and what's taking place, that would be awesome if you would hit the like button and share the videos with others so that they can get a chance to get a different perspective on what's happening in the markets based on institutional buying and selling. And yeah, I'll leave you with that. Okay. Thanks again for joining me. As always, it's a pleasure spending the mornings with you. And we'll see you in the Telegram channel. All right. Link on the bottom of whiteoakfx.com. Thanks, everyone. Take care. We'll see you later.